Wood-based building products have been aggressively marketed as environmentally friendly and the green building product, in part because they retain some of the carbon originally sequestered in the living forests. But how much carbon do wood building products actually store? Well, the reality is that living trees sequester carbon, and wood-based building products are the result of a process that emits carbon. What we're really talking about is transferring some of the carbon from a forest ecosystem to the built environment in the form of long-lived products like dimensional lumber. So what does this transfer look like, and how effective is it? First, we should clarify something about carbon pools in forest ecosystems. Only a small fraction of total ecosystem carbon is stored in merchantable biomass. In reality, the majority of the carbon in our forests is stored in the soils, and a host of damaging impacts to soil-based carbon and other carbon pools takes place during the process of harvesting timber. But let's look at the process of transferring carbon from the tree to merchantable wood products. At the point of harvest, typically between 40 to 60% of the mass of the initial living tree that has little economic value is left behind on the forest floor. This residue is called slash. While some of this slash can be collected and burned for energy, much of it remains on the forest floor to rot, or burned simply as a waste disposal option. Either way, carbon emissions escape to the atmosphere. Of the 40 to 60% of the harvested timber that does make it to primary manufacturing facilities, such as sawmills and veneer mills, less than half ends up in long-lived building products. Researchers have tracked the flow of carbon from the forest ecosystem to the built environment and report that only about 18 to 30% of the carbon from the initial living tree ends up in a long-lived building product. Most of the carbon is lost during harvesting or is emitted when non-merchantable wood is burned for energy, disposed of as waste, or used to produce pulp, paper, and other short-lived products. Clearly, the transfer of merchantable carbon from the forest ecosystem to the built environment is not only inefficient, it's also not environmentally friendly. Along the journey from the forest to the job site, there is tremendous collateral damage to biodiversity, soil carbon pools, and a host of other impact categories that are typically excluded from product lifecycle assessments and other studies that promote the use of wood building products. At the end of the day, the reality is that living trees sequester carbon, and wood-based building products are the result of an industrial process that emits carbon. It is that simple. For more information, please visit www.buildingresiliencecoalition.org.